I'm on now if you want to log on. All right. Good morning, everybody. As you jump on here, please put your mic on mute as normal. We have another great guest today. We've been very blessed this whole school year with people who have given their time to come talk with our students and share their life story and some of their experiences. So today we have Jonathan Wynn. You probably know him as John's dad, some of you. He graduated 2 years ago. He's at Robert Morris now. But we're super excited to have him. Remember, if you have any questions while we're going along, feel free to put them in the chat. You can also, Mr. Wynn's really easy. So if you want to turn your mic on and ask a question, that will not be a problem throughout this talk. So just a couple things about Mr. Wynn that I wanted to share with you before he started. He's been in law enforcement 26 years, and the last 23 of those have been with the Secret Service, which is pretty phenomenal. And obviously he's had some incredible experiences in our country, probably around the world, met some neat people, but also is out there protecting us. And he's going to share some of that wisdom today. And I wanted to show this picture too. I thought this was a great picture of the family. Hold on one second here. There we go. Obviously with Barack Obama at the White House. So you can see Jon and Yewande, his wife.
Yeah.
Really
Anna was at school that day. She couldn't get back.
Is that why? Okay.
Yeah, we just taking her back to school. Yep.
Okay. I figured she wasn't there. And the last thing I'm going to show you guys before I cut this loose with Mr. Wynn is the next page. And this just kind of shows his education. Went to Hampton University, and then went to the War College in DC. And you're constantly getting educated in life. And I think one of the things that's kind of neat when I saw this was he was still doing stuff in 2018. Even at the level he was at, he was still going out and getting certificates and working on his education for his career. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to you, Mr. Wynn. Again, great to have you today, and it's your show.
Outstanding. Thanks, Coach. Hey, guys and girls. I can't really see who's on right now, but I was ecstatic when Coach called me and asked me to present today. I still feel as though I'm part of the Riken family. As a matter of fact, we miss you guys. As you know, some of you probably know my son, Jon. He graduated in 2019, Coach. Geez, I'm getting old. Played football there all 4 years.
Yep.
Won a championship with Coach Brady his second year as the head coach. So me, my wife, my daughter, and Jon, we can still consider ourselves part of the Riken family. And when things get back to normal, we'll be up there watching those games. Again, my name is Jonathan Wynn. I've been with the Secret Service now going on 23 years, be 24 in September. I've held a plethora of assignments. Started my career back in '97 before any of you were born in the Atlanta field office, where I did criminal investigations, counterfeiting, financial crimes, did a lot of undercover work there. And also protection. The Secret Service has a dual mission of protection and criminal investigations. Left Atlanta in January 2002, moved up to the DC area where I was an agent in our intelligence division. And that's where we pretty much, any information, threats, adverse intelligence towards any of our protectees or protected sites, it's funneled there. We analyze and disseminate it to the correct people, a liaison with a lot of the local law enforcement, state law enforcement, and other federal agencies. A lot of them, that you can't talk about. Or was there for about 2.5 years as an agent. Then went to the president's detail for 4.5 under President Bush. George W. Bush, then went to our Washington field office, did some more criminal work, got promoted back to our intelligence division, went to our War College for about a year, then went back to the president's detail as a supervisor, where I protected the Obama family. For about 2 years of my time there, I was the detail leader for Malia Obama, then went back to the president's side, and then got promoted to our dignitary protective division. And that's the division that pretty much handles what's going on right now, the inauguration, what we call national security special events, the State of the Union, the UN, United Nations in New York every September. Plus, we also protect visiting heads of states, kings, queens, presidents, prime ministers of other countries when they come into the United States. So, and now I'm back in our intelligence division as a supervisor again, deputy special agent in charge of the protective intelligence division. So that's my career in a nutshell. Coach, is anything that you want me to do a deep dive into?
Sorry about that. I was on mute. Now, I think it would be great if you talked about many of the students on here. We have a bunch of students on today are interested in criminal justice, interested in a career like yours. Maybe talk to them about the path you took. In high school, what you thought you might want, what you wanted to do. If it might be different, a lot of times it is. Maybe when did you learn that the path you followed? How did that happen?
Law enforcement was always the dream. It took different forms. I grew up in New Jersey. Me and my wife are both from New Jersey. So I first wanted to be a New Jersey State Trooper. I thought they were cool, loved the uniforms. Came to that, they were top notch. Left New Jersey, went to school in Virginia, Hampton University, graduated. That's when the federal side of things kind of stoked me. Was able to things just like this, events just like this. Talk to a few federal agents, FBI agents, Secret Service, and that's where I knew I wanted to shift my path to. I was in the Navy for a little bit. I was a Navy officer while I was in Hampton, so that was the path that it was a calling to me.
Right.
To me, that's what it was. I'm not trying to sound corny or anything, but it was more of a calling to me. This is where I knew I wanted my path to go, and pretty much the things that I've done have led me down that path. My major at Hampton was criminology, or sociology with a criminal justice emphasis. And that's not a requirement. That's just something I wanted to do, because if it wasn't for that, I thought I may go to law school. So these are the things that I did. When I got out of the Navy, I was a police officer in Georgia for about 4 years. 2 departments: Athens, Clarke County, where UGA is, and DeKalb County, which is right outside of Atlanta. Matter of fact, a third of the city of Atlanta is in DeKalb County's jurisdiction. So had a blast being a local police officer or a county police officer. One of the best times in my law enforcement experience.
That's great.
So got recruited with the agency, with the Secret Service back in 95, 96 timeframe. Back then, the hiring process, it took forever. It took like 2 or 3 years for me to come on from the time I first applied to when I finally got picked up in September 97.
So nowadays, for just say a St. Mary's Reagan student right now, senior in high school, how do they work to get selected for? I mean, it's pretty selective to get on your detail. What can they do to help themselves?
Stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
Back in school, you always heard your instructors or your teachers say, "Yeah, if you try to get a federal job, agents are going to come back here and check on us. And they're going to talk to." Yeah, we do. So what you do now will echo, through the rest of your life. So just keep your nose clean. You're going to make mistakes. We're not crazy. We know you're going to experiment. You're going to make mistakes, but how you learn from those mistakes and how you carry forward. So that's keep your nose clean. Treat others the way you want to be treated, and now will carry through the rest of your life.
Absolutely, that's great. And again, if you have questions while Mr. Wynn is talking, please feel free to jump on and let us know what that is, what we're here for.
Right. Hey, Coach, I'm going to backtrack to be well-rounded. Got to have good grades. You got to keep your grades up. I want you to play sports. Want you to be in student government. Be well-rounded. Have life experiences. And that's, get out of your comfort zone. And that's the only way you're going to grow. And that's what we want to see.
That's great. Okay, I guess one thing I was really impressed with the leadership profile, and I put it up on the screen for the kids, and I have a second page too. And now that you've always been in charge, always a leader, but do you look back at your high school, college experience, and were there people that maybe around you that kind of helped you to be a better leader today? What you do?
Absolutely, coaches. I'm still in touch with my high school coach right now.
That's fantastic.
So that's Coach Bailey. So coaches, sports. I'm not trying to get recruit for you, coach, but being in sports. That's life lessons right there. That's camaraderie. That's a united front against an adversary. That's where you're going to. That's how you learn someone's characteristics or learn about somebody's character. When you put them under stressful conditions, how they perform.
Absolutely.
We're all going to have those times when we kind of shudder in place and cower. But how do we recover? And sports is always the best way, in my opinion, to teach that or to observe that in a controlled environment. So definitely, when it came to leadership, that was my first taste. That was my first taste of leadership. Setting the example, doing my job, make sure I did my job, and make sure I set an example for those who follow me, because I was, team captain. But so it started. That's where it started, in my opinion, sports.
Okay, great. I just had a question. One of the kids sent me. If they go straight into a police academy, like out of high school, do you have to have a college degree to work up to where you're at your level?
The Secret Service is a very diverse agency. We have a uniform division and we have the special agent side. Mm-hmm. The uniform division are the uniformed officers that you see around the White House. They have the same police powers as Metro PD, plus they're federal. So they get to enforce their federal laws across the country. And then you have the agent side. So for uniform division, you do not have to have a college degree. For the agent side, you do. There's no ways about it. If you look at the requirements, it might not say that, or it says you can have some other requirements. You got to have a college degree from accredited college. Now, I'm not going to say it has to be in criminal justice. I'm not going to say what your major has to be, but you have to have a college degree from accredited college.
That's great. 'Cause that was the next question. Yeah, you don't, because you had mentioned that earlier. You don't necessarily have to major in criminology to get into that field, right?
No.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. No.
But I would say my advice, if I was you, getting a college degree is pretty important, right? Okay.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Absolutely. And when you get hired, we look at your educational background. Most of the time, anyone getting hired for the Secret Service is going to be at a GS7 to a GS9. So based on your experience and your educational background or accomplishments, that scale slides back and forth. So someone with a master's might come on and get hired as a GS9 rather than GS7. So
great advice. Okay, perfect. This is a longer question. This is a good one. Ready? All right. My uncle was Secret Service in the K-9 unit under Reagan and retired under Clinton. He was previously ex-military after Vietnam. In today's age, is there an advantage joining Secret Service with military background or advantage education-wise? I plan to go to the U.S. Coast Guard Academy, then law enforcement and criminal law aspect, and try and follow my uncle's shoes to the Secret Service.
All right. Well, first of all, most respect to your uncle for serving. What I will say is it's a plus. Having military experience is a plus. I have done a lot of recruiting for the service back when I was in Atlanta field office. I was part of the recruiting unit. And obviously you get, military preference. So it definitely is a plus. We don't, like I said, you don't have to be military or law enforcement to apply for this job. But me, personally, if I know you have that background, it makes me a little bit more comfortable because I know you know how to handle diversity. I know you know about leadership. I know you know about organization. So you come in with the skill set that we really don't need to teach you because you already
have it. Yeah.
You're
So here's a good question. Do you have to be good at sports to pursue something like this?
No, you don't have to go to sports to pursue something like this. But I tell you, going through training, the physical standards are rigorous. You are, subject to physical fitness tests. Our physical fitness test is a 1.5 mile run, push-ups in 2 minutes, sit-ups in 2 minutes, in a sit and reach. I believe that's what it is right now. That's what it was when I came in. So no, you don't have to be an athlete. You don't have to be Captain America, but you will PT. You will PT.
That's great. All right. Another question. Hold on one second. Get this one for you. Okay. Is this similar to the FBI? Is the question.
No, I'm not going to say that. We have different missions. Obviously, the FBI has their statutes that they investigate, and we have ours. We, in my opinion, I'll tell how I feel. This is Jon Wynn's opinion. We are the premier protective agency in the world, in my opinion. As being, coming from our dignitary protective division, I have been the detail leader for many high-level protectees. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu from Israel, the President, Prime Minister from Japan or China. So I have worked with these other world leaders, and we're it.
Right. Cool. Great answer. What was it like with the Obama family? Having the Malia's, you said, on her detail?
I was with the girls for about 2 years, primarily with Malia. Mm-hmm.
Was that Sidwell Friends?
That right there, that picture that you're showing.
Yeah.
That was actually I want to say the 50th anniversary of the crossing of the bridge in Selma, Alabama.
Wow. Cool.
So yeah, that I spent a lot of time with Sidwell Friends. But
they give you like your own office there and stuff. Then, like, you got to set up a spot.
We did have our own little security room and everything, and it was very dynamic. The kids, we were part of the Sidwell family. They were used to us. We were used to them. It was crazy. I've been quite fortunate. Like I said, I was on the president's detail under George W. Bush and under the Obama family. Take politics aside, I'm not here to talk about politics or political ideologies. I've been fortunate to have served under two administrations that, respected us, and treated us well.
That's great. Let me see if there are any more questions. Oh, no, another question. I didn't put this in the end, but would you be okay if I gave me a personal email to reach out, or a business email? Anybody had additional questions that student asked?
Well, if they do that, what I would prefer just to collect them and organize, send them to you and have them send it to me.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah. So to that question, so you understand, if you have a question for Mr. Wynn, no problem. You shoot it to me. I'll send it to Mr. Wynn. I'll get an answer for you.
And I'll get an answer for you.
Yes, sir. That's great. All right. Yeah, I had a question for you. So I've noticed in your pictures a lot of times you guys stand a certain way, right? Is that just your natural mannerism, or are you guys like coached, for lack of a better word, to stand in a certain, you know what I mean?
Well, first of all, I'm sure in that picture my feet were hurting. I was probably leaning forward.
Yep.
This is a young man's job. I'm 50 years old now, so feet were hurting. But you always want to be ready. It's if anybody took martial arts, you know what a fighting stance is, and so that's, you keep your hands up. You can't protect yourself if your hands are down, the hands are in your pocket. So you keep your hands up. You just try not to look like a goober and try to look as natural as possible.
And you were with President Bush for a few years too? I saw this picture.
With President Bush, during his second administration.
Oh, that's great.
Mm-hmm. So all 4 years of his administration, and a couple of months into President Obama's first administration. Then I came back during his second administration as a supervisor.
Okay, super. Got a couple more pictures to get through here. Here's the whole family. Now look at Jon.
So yeah, so if anybody knows Jon, y'all take a screenshot of that and tease them. That's yeah. I mean, the kids, I track their growth. Coach, I don't know if you've been in the house or not, but I have pictures of them going to the house parties from the time. Jesus, Jon, I was worried about Jon maybe, having an accident, on the first lady or something. That's how Jon was like probably 1 year old when he went to the house first time. So I can actually look at their growth through my White House pictures.
That's neat. Yes, sir. Any final questions for Mr. Wynn? Feel free to jump in there now. Do you have any final thoughts for our students, moving forward, 2021? Just anything you want to throw at them?
Keep your head up, guys and girls. This has been a rough year. I haven't seen anything like it. And I think you guys are getting hit the hardest, especially this last year. Please keep your head up. Don't get frustrated. Protect yourselves. This will pass. And one of the reasons why I'm here is I want to pass it forward. Somebody spoke to me when I was in high school, and I credit that to me being where I am now. I was, grew up in Newark, New Jersey, didn't realize what opportunities were before me. And it was somebody talking to me and say, hey, you can do this too. So please, if this is your dream, follow it. Hit up Coach. He'll connect us, and I will do my best to get you through the process. Hey, even if it's not Secret Service, and if you want to be an FBI agent.
Hey, I got one more question for you before you go. The student asked, how do you decide who's on what detail, and how are you assigned to the Obama family? How did that happen?
See, if anyone's, we always have there's always a sibling rivalry between PPD agents or Presidential Protection Agents and Presidential Protection Agents.
I understand.
It's based on supervisory recommendations, based on your work ethic, and it's also based on personal preference. We're not going to send anybody to the president's detail, vice president's detail, who doesn't want to go there, or at least be on one of the big details. It's now agents serve up to 6 years on those details or on protection. That's a long time.
Wow.
I'm not going to get any calluses on my hands, but it's a very demanding job. It's a very stressful job. It's stressful on you. It's stressful on the family. I think Ayanna was 1 year old when I came on the job. Jon obviously wasn't born yet. I think Ayanna thought I had an apartment in D.C. that her first 2 years I was on the job because I was never home.
Wow.
So I think it wasn't until Jon, true coach, you would know. It wasn't until I think the year you took over where I was pretty much done with protection that I was able to see
a better schedule.
8% of Jon's games. Usually it was on the other end. I only saw 20%.
Wow. It's tough.
So it's a very demanding job. So I don't know if I answered the question because I'm trying to be politically correct and not answer it. But it's based on what you want to do, based on the recommendations from the supervisors that you work for.
Great. Well, I appreciate it. Again, Mr. Wynn, thanks for your time today. I know you're really busy right now, but we appreciate everything you do for us, and we love having the Wynn family part of our Riken family forever. So we'll definitely be in touch.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Talk to you guys later. Again,
have a great weekend.
Whatever you need, go through Coach, and we'll get it done.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right. Talk to you later.
All right, bye.